and welcome back to the Inside Star Citizen review. That is right, my favorite show, chilling out with my fans here. As you guys can see, we do this live every time there is an Inside Star Citizen. We do the review, we sit around, we chill out. It's my favorite thing to do on the channel here. And after this video, we are going to be doing another video where we have a bonus video. We're basically going to be going over our community tab on two different polls that we took. So that's bonus stuff after this particular video. Go watch the next video, but let's watch this week's Inside Star Citizen review with this dude who has a mailman hat from the 1930s, as Sap has said. So let's see what this is about.
We're going further inside than ever before. Welcome to Inside Star Citizen.
Oh, okay. And then Erad, the Eradicator's here. The Eradicator's here. I'm feeling very good about that. I love Erad. Go check him out. Go check his channel and subscribe. But Erad has said, did you check the length of the show? It's less than 10 minutes again. Now, we all know by the length of the show, the time code as it is, if the show is not at least the 15-minute range to 21-minute range, we usually don't like the show. We've already figured this out over many shows. It is time tested and approved by DG, myself, that anything less than 15 minutes is usually a stinker of a show, but we will see. Boba says younger, thinner version of the Skipper. Here on Gilligan's Island.
Welcome everyone to the first episode of our brand new series where we take a look inside the weekly development of making our weekly development series. I'm your host.
What are you doing?
What? Oh, okay. I was just about to say, where the hell was Disco at? That's so funny. This is kind of cool. They're starting it out at least with some humor. I'm digging the humor.
Putting together Inside Star Citizen each and every week can be a daunting task. And the team members in our global video production team work with developers every day to determine how we can present their work in interesting and effective ways.
I was 2 minutes late.
And in the case of the Anvil Ballista, recently introduced as straight to drivable in our Alpha 3.6 patch, that meant talking with two of the designers in our LA studio that worked to bring it to life. So let's find out how our
I love you guys. You guys are like, cut the shit. Let's just get on with the content. This is a great thing to be watching. You know, like, I like a little bit of humor, right? But this is good feedback that people in Cloud Imperium need to understand. People have paid money. People are subscribers, and they're like, hey, I want some actual content. They're coming back with something. They're trying to be lighthearted. I understand what they're trying to do, but at the same time, there is this voice out there, Cloud Imperium, so pay attention.
Our video team put that segment together.
Let's just run this segment, the normal segment.
Oh, now this is... Okay. Whoa, I can't. This guy's like a Wookiee. Who is this guy? Michael Sizemore looks like a Wookiee. This is like Chewbacca on here. What is going on? We need to trim up a little bit, Michael. No offense against just the hygiene a little bit. Like, where he's got the little I feel like the ammo clips. He's missing the ammo clip across his chest, for God's sake. Jesus, Chewbacca. Hey, what's going on, Aaron? Good to see you, Pepper. It's good to see you. Now listen, I'm telling you, he needs a little bit of grooming techniques going on here. Just a little bit. Sorry, Michael. Just a little bit is all I'm saying. You know, I'm not trying to tell you what to do here, but, you know, maybe it just freshen you up just a slight bit here before you get on the show. I'm a little bit like taken aback now, Michael. I'm just well, I don't even remember what I was trying to say now. It's just completely like, oh, the Ballista. I am really looking forward to the Ballista. We had talked about this over a year ago when we talked about ground warfare, just like theory crafting it, and the Ballista. Let's just get to it first. See if we get a picture. I can't concentrate with Michael. There we go. Whew, I can't concentrate with Michael there. I'm sorry. I don't know what. Jesus. But yes, the Ballista, dudes. This is something we had talked about because we were talking about wanting more ground vehicles. You know, it's great that they're focusing still on you know, when the Tonk came out, the Tatanka, and we were like excited. Oh, what's up? Hey, Anacro Schism, loving the name. Thanks for the follow, bro. Like I was saying, This thing is what exactly we were talking about. We said we wanted some anti-aircraft loveliness. We wanted some anti-aircraft medicine, and they delivered. I almost think sometimes they watch the content I put out, because like when the Tonk came out, as happy as I was about the Tonk, I was like, you know what we're really going to need, guys? With all of the ships out there, we're going to need some type of anti-aircraft vehicle, and boom, I think they delivered. I don't know what you guys think of the Ballista, but like personally, I love the looks of this, man. Absolutely love the looks of this. Thanks, Boba, for the host, dude. Look at you guys actively engaging on this stream. Thank you so much, guys. The Ballista, damn sexy. That's all I gotta say. Damn
something
sexy.
That they own or something they want to protect from a ground perspective.
The Ballista expands our ground gameplay by giving us more vehicles to play around with and some other options for anti-aircraft defense.
My primary purpose I have found is its range. This vehicle has an extended range.
I love it. You're going to need this on the ground, especially if you're a person who's talking about like basically owning a colony. You got yourself like a colony ship, you're putting down a colony, you kind of want to have a couple of these hanging around your base, and I think it's just a smart move. And I think that people who are going to live planet side, because there are going to be a section of people that are living planet side, that you're going to need this. It's like going to be a staple. Like this is basically going to be a staple until they have like anti-aircraft towers, stuff like that. Looks like something out of Mad Max, says Pepper. Yes. Cash says it's cool. Anak says that's definitely a beard on that Sig dude. That is, I don't know if you watched Anak earlier, but we were thinking he was like Chewbacca of some sorts. Eras says, I watched a video the other day of a guy testing how stealth that thing is, and it's virtually undetectable at night. That is awesome. Really hard to spot. That's great that at nighttime it's even harder to spot. I think these types of vehicles need to have some type of stealth. Otherwise, they're going to just be instant targets for anything in the air. So there should be some type of stealth quality on radar for this particular type of vehicle. Absolutely think there should be. Boba says, but right now we have no ship that can carry it. Interesting, and yes, and there needs to be that kind of attention and focus being put onto ships that can actually transport this in the game now. Absolutely agree, Boba. Great comment, dude. And X says, it reminds me of the old Soviet missile carriers. It does, dude. To be honest, that Vic looks like the Mammoth from Halo 4. Oh, it kind of does, dude. It kind of does.
You don't see out of fighters. You won't see it out of any other craft that we currently have right now.
You can stay far away and take down a ship before they even see you.
Yes, and Daddy, that is absolutely right, dude. I'm telling you, we've talked about this numerous amounts of times, that the PU, in my sense, even though we know the routine of SQ-42 needing the development and then it kind of sliding to the PU is all that gamers know. Like when somebody pledges for a ship to play the game, right? The game is the PU. So we'll get into this on the bonus video. In fact, I'm not going to say another damn thing. We're going to get this on the bonus video after the Inside Star Citizen, because that's a good point, Cash.
If you get into a ship and you have to fight the other ship, you're putting yourself in danger. Whereas in the Ballista, you can kill them before they're
loving it.
So the unique thing about the Ballista's missiles,
I can't focus.
They're a little bit faster than what you would expect.
Oh, yeah.
They are 7s and 5s. They're really much effectively like firing a dragonfly at something, particularly the 7s.
That's so sexy.
And they're on a turret.
Thank you, Sean.
Have not seen
you can thank Kelly for that. She did great with the logos, dude.
So you have a complete 180 shot around you. The other day, I was just playing around with it, managed to target Gladys out from 9,000 meters. In the future, we're hoping to increase the range that you get out of these missiles, primarily based on
that is so killer, man.
That you get off the ship.
The great thing about having a ship that's straight to fly.
Oh my goodness. Pixels, thanks for the host, bro. Did you guys check out that missile, man? Woo, 180 degrees or 360 is what it looked like on the turret. Did you guys hear what he said? I'm sorry, I missed it. Was it 360 all the way around on that turret? On the missile turrets? I hope so. Don't get me started on the PU, says Anak. He says, I had this discussion with several this week about where most of the money goes. We've talked about this quite often on the show. I'm always talking about the money and where that's going. Hey, good day, says Slippery Pixels. How's the flying today? I'm going to talk about 3.6 after this and the fun I've been having with it, and also the headaches as well. Steph says, I'm interested in the ballistics about it, but because there's AA missiles we use today that are absolutely massive, absolutely, up someone's nose. Reloading the Ballista is going to be the issue unless you have a few of them. They aren't going to stay out in the field for long. That's why I think that the missiles themselves should almost be unique to the Ballista. So like there should be some types of missiles that are dedicated only to the anti-aircraft Ballista. I think that there should only be loaded on the anti-aircraft Ballista. They should have high damage outputs, and that way they're more usable in NAC. You know what I'm trying to get across to you, dude? I think that there should be some type of like specific missiles that fit on anti-aircraft vehicle is what I'm trying to say, that you can't really fit on ships. Kind of almost like a torp. Kind of like in between like a torp and a missile, like as far as the damage output is concerned. What's up, RSW? Welcome to the stream, dude.
Reliable is that we go from design to concept to production all in one go. We have all the resources that we need, we plan it out.
And it lets us be much more hands-on with it the entire time. It lets us make better decisions because it's fresher in everybody's mind at the time, and produce the product that we really want to make as fluidly as we can.
It's really fun to actually get something out really fast.
The thing I hope players get out of this, well, it's not so much what they get, it's more what they create. I want complete chaos out of this thing. I want players defending outposts. I want them keeping people from landing. I want people claiming an area. This is their area. This is the device they're using to make it their area.
Those Gatlings, man.
Here's what I think is gonna happen. They're gonna spawn them outside of like Hurston or Lorville and just not let people land at places that they want to land. That's probably what's gonna happen.
That was a cool segment, but I really think we could have done like a making of the segment instead of just another dev interview. I mean,
That's enough. It's time to get back to the regular show now. Let's talk about the 890 jump. Now, this massive super yacht from Origin has been a dream of many Star Citizen backers since it was first introduced, and it promises to set a new standard for scale in the persisting universe when it arrives in a supplemental 3.6 patch. And with a whopping 68 rooms filling out this monument to excess, members of the props team have been working to add additional life to many of them. Let's take a look now at some of their work.
68. Nice.
Oh boy, 890.
So today I'm showing you the props that we've been making for the 890 over the past few weeks. We've got some custom assets that we've made for the spa, like these towels and these sandals. Quite a big kitchen set for this.
All right, they still need to work on the grabby hands, right? Like I'm still having issues with like a lot of items, and I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but it seems to be a little bit less in 3.6, but the items still are shaking on tables. I'm still having issues with like particular assets that are made in game that are laying there that will actually interact with one another without me even touching them. I don't know if you guys are having that issue. I'm having that issue, and it's really sloppy right now. It's really kind of sloppy.
It to feel like, you know, a professional restaurant is on board. One of the other things we wanted to make to elevate the whole ship to this, you know, classy high standard is filling it with lots of modern art.
Yeah, so, I don't see any time soon, RSW. I agree, dude.
Make some these little sculptures here, stuff that hopefully you'd find in a gallery, as well as.
So it's cool that they're adding assets, you know, but at the same time, the game mechanic needs to be improved. And this is, again, what we're going to talk about on the additional bonus video that we're going to do after this. Hey, DY, good to see you, bro. I hope some of that kitchen outfit can be installed into 600i.
Some large ones here you'll see dotted around the ship. And more traditionally, we've got some paintings that Corey's been working on. He's made these in Substance Designer, and he's got all our signatures sort of thrown on.
By the way, I don't know if you guys caught the article about Substance, and they're using this program called Substance. It's a really cool article. I think I linked it on my Twitter. I think I linked it in the Discord. Very cool to look at how they go about this particular program and what they're putting in the game with it. Pretty cool. SC, as wide as an ocean, but has the depth of a puddle, says RSW. They're working on it, dude. I know, dude. I know, RSW. Erad says the 890 jump is going to be a heck of a space hotel. Dude, I'm looking forward to seeing the 890 jump in action. It should be very fun, Erad. Boba says, I need one of those spoons for my coffee in my 325A. And X says the animations need some smoothing out. Absolutely. They did talk about a while back in one of the vids where they need to add transitions to smooth out the jerk and jumps from one animation to the other. Yeah, they still need to work on it. They still need to work on a lot of these game mechanics within the game that are in the PU right now. Again, we're going to talk about that in the add-on video that we're doing after this. Erat says, talking about being hashtag professional, there's going to be loads of pressure on 890 jump owners. Sap says, to be honest, I think if they are going to make aesthetics-based assets, you should be able to interact with them. Exactly, Saps. Cash says 890 is going to bring so much content. The Substance article was great. Yeah, I love the Substance article, Diva. Absolutely. If you guys haven't checked that out, look up Substance. It's a program that they're using. I believe it's an Adobe software program. But I think I read it over about a week ago. But it talked about a lot of the layering effects that they're doing with the geography of planets, and it even gotten into like the design on the flora and stuff of this nature. And it was really cool to see what they're up to, like how they're actually utilizing the tools, and they're doing this switch over to Substance, which is very cool.
On the painting, so though Corey technically made every painting, I think everyone in the team has sort of scanned in their signature to stick on each of the paintings. So we hope that collectively these props will complement the luxurious feel of the ship and elevate the player experience.
Each week, Inside Star Citizen focuses on the development of our patch at hand. In this quarter, the upcoming 3.7.
That's what I plan on doing with it, Erad.
We're still pretty early in the sprint cycle for Alpha 3.7, so we thought we'd try something different this week and take a look farther ahead at a feature that's only just recently begun its development and won't be making its way into Star Citizen for some time to come. Let's check in now with our actor feature team in the UK and see their earliest work bringing melee combat to the persistent universe.
There we go. Oh yeah!
We were just about to start on melee combat and the introduction into Star Citizen. So melee combat itself.
This is exciting. You know, one of our members in our Discord, his name's Araxis. He invited me to his Discord server, and his idea to create content in Star Citizen is to create a fight club. So I've connected with him, and the second we get the melee in the game and it's actually like, you know, down, I told him that I want to get in the game and I want to start like filming matches between people so that we literally have like an MMA style type Star Citizen content type events. You know, I thought that would be really, really cool to bring to the channel. So I'm going to be working with Araxis in the future. And once this gets in the game and I like it and it's acceptable to me as far as the game mechanics and as far as the look, we're going to be having some fight club moments on the channel. So it'll be very fun.
It includes unarmed combat with your fists. It also includes weapon combat with knives or other weapons that we might add later down the line. So we've just started melee combat last quarter, but obviously in first-person
that
combat,
guy didn't look like he belonged in that suit.
That we have to overcome in that with the unified rig and having it look good, and obviously the level of quality and production values that we're aiming for. Clearly, we're obviously at the stage now where we're just getting the animations in there and we're testing them out. We're going through several different tests of taking the mocap data and then bringing that into engine. You can see here the first version that we're just testing the first-person perspective and how that looks. Here in test 2, we're actually counter-rotating the head. And this allows us to...
That's pretty cool. Like, I like the animations. They're a little bit farther than I thought, honestly. So that's pretty cool that they're releasing this information.
Follow, actually punch where you're aiming, but it's actually pushing the camera off to the side. So obviously in a first-person game, you don't really want the camera moving a lot. You've already got a lot to take into a combat scenario.
Exactly, that would be so cool, DY.
You're trying to choose which move you want to use.
Interesting, good info, Cash. 6 months, huh?
But also keep it stable in these light attacks with a jab. This camera motion might be more appropriate, say, when you're doing a heavy attack, but for a light attack, we want to kind of tone it down and see how that goes from there. So in test 3, you can see here that the left jab is working well, but the right still has issues. Obviously, we're going through different technical challenges to overcome and technical solutions. So we're starting to go in the right direction with test 4. We started to get more of a stable head cam position, but obviously you're seeing that the animation in third person isn't that great. And
it's like a straight boxer,
right
like just a straight boxing style.
The right shoulders.
should be interesting to see how far they take this. You know, they could go really far with this. This is something they need to box in, pun intended. They need to kind of just keep it as straight fisticuffs, just straight boxing for now. But in the future, as the game rolls farther and farther ahead, perhaps introduce different styles of fighting would be awesome. You know, like a little bit of jujitsu, a little bit of like tuck and roll, a little bit of wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be kind of cool if they developed this into like different styles of fighting. But for now, like, let's just get it polished, let's get it out the door, and let's just get some fisticuffs going, you know? That is planned, says RSW. Interesting. Why did I not remember that? I don't remember them talking about this as much, you know? But that is cool if that is planned, RSW, because I would like different styles of fighting, man. That'd be like, oh man, that'd be killer.
Is impinging on the camera view. So here you can see obviously test 35, we've gone through several tests, and we're actually starting to get to a version where, okay, we just stripped everything back and we just said, okay, let's isolate the arm movement. How does that feel? And we get what we want on the arm movement, and then we can start building the body back into it once we've got that stability. So you can see here we're punching exactly where you're aiming. We know it's working. We've got good timing on both the left and right hand.
Oh, I can't wait. This is getting me excited.
The next iteration.
This is getting me really
We've
excited.
still got a lot of ways to go in terms of the heavy attacks and bringing those on board. But I think we're at a good place now to actually start building on top of that and start playing it and feeling it and seeing if it feels good. So hopefully we'll make really good progress next quarter. Obviously we can have another check-in and see how that goes, and hopefully we'll have some cool footage to show you then.
That's cool.
It's going to be a while before we see melee combat in Star Citizen, but you can bet we're going to check in with the actor feature teams and follow up on its progress in the coming quarters. So with that, what did we learn this week? We learned that the Anvil Ballista aims to bring...
And I wonder how they're going to implement that within the game. For instance, like, are you going to be able to choose the style of fighting that you want on a menu? You know what I'm trying to say? You know, like a little taekwondo versus a little jujitsu versus a little bit of wrestling. Like, you're going to be able to like select that. You know, like, how does that work? You know, because it almost makes me think that there's like a skilling kind of thing going on, and they don't want that in the game. So you're going to have to be able to like select it, you know? And this is the end of the show, right? Damn. That's okay. We're having a bonus show after this.
Art to the persistent universe. We learned that the road to first-person melee combat has many hurdles to overcome.
Stick with me, guys. We're going to have another video. So that's it,
And we learned that you have to show up on time for your hosting segments, or chaos ensues. As usual, our thanks go to subscribers each and every week for making the show and others like it possible. And to everyone in the Star Citizen community. We'll see you next week.
All right, short show. Thanks everybody for joining us here on this Inside Star Citizen review. We are going to be having a bonus show after this particular show. So everybody on the stream that's live right now, stick around. But those of you watching on YouTube right now, thanks for joining us and the fam for watching another episode of Inside Star Citizen review. I am so glad that it is back, and I am so glad to be offering you this content once again. Of course, I didn't forget about you guys. I would never forget about you guys. Ask Damon, 21-month subscription, 21-month commitment from Damon. You can ask him. He's been around a while. He knows me. He knows what's up here. He knows what's up. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you on the next vid.